guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we have Sing Me to Sleep by Gabi Burton. So this is a book I got from Fairyloot. And let's just say, yes. That's what I say. This is the cover. We have Words Sting, Songs Kill. So we have this beautiful edition. Then we have like these spines all the way through. So obviously, here's the book I get through. So this is our June's box. We have our main character with an offer letter. And then if we remove this, we have these end papers, which are beautiful, which I'll show the other side. And then we have the hardback, which is like this. So we sleep. And then we have a full moon on the back. And then this is the other side of what the book looks like. A duty to protect, a desire to kill, and an impossible love. And it is also signed by the author, which I do love as well. So let's read the synopsis. Sasori Sokova survives on the streets. As the last siren in her kingdom, she can sing any man to an early grave. But her very existence is illegal, and if her true identity were ever to be discovered, it would be the life on her line. But the day Sasori disguised herself as a fae, pretended to be the perfect soldier in training. But now she satisfies her darker urges, working as an assassin for the dangerous mercenaries. And all the while, she keeps a bigger secret of all, that she is not always to control of her powers, her siren powers, should I say, or her desire to kill. Then a blackmailer threatens her sister, and Sasori investigates, takes her to the royal palace and her most dangerous job yet, the personal bodyguard to the crown prince. Sasori expects to be despised Prince Hayes, but he's kind, thoughtful, and charming, and she finds him increasingly drawn to him. But until he tasks her with investigating a killer plaguing the kingdom, the problem is the killer is Sasori. Trapped by her deadly double life, Sasori can't leave the palace until she saves her sister, but who will save her from herself? So this is mixed with Cruel Prince and To Kill a Kingdom. Cruel Prince I read, To Kill a Kingdom I DNF'd, so I was quite intrigued by the way this book was going to be. So it follows a siren assassin who joins forces with the prince she hates, infiltrating his investigation into the assassin targeting people with links to the royals, a killer that happens to be the deadly siren herself. So obviously this prince has figured out that someone's killing his royal people, and he wants someone to help, but he doesn't know that it's her, the one that is protecting him, which I kind of find it funny. As the last siren in her kingdom, Sasori has lived under a cloak of secrets and lies her entire life. She has the power to sing to a man to an early grave, but she's considered a monstrosity, and such as its existence is illegal. If her true identity was ever discovered, she'll face certain death, and an adopted family would be punished for harbouring a monster. And that's not fair. It would be a terrible idea. Then for her to take a job as a crown prince's bodyguard, which is exactly what happens when Sasori finds herself blackmailed by someone who seems to be bigger vendetta against the royals, and much more than the nefarious agenda. With her beloved sister's life being used as collateral, Sasori has no choice but to do the blackmail's bidding. Disguised as a fae and pretending to be the perfect loyal soldier, Sasori reluctantly joins Prince Hayes' security team. She expects to desire the young and entitled royal, but he's not all what he seems to be. He's kind and charming and generally cares about the people around him, including Sasori herself, who, despite trying to remain aloof, to stay fascinated with the prince. The more they work side to side, investigating the assassins hiding in plain sight, the more they're drawn to each other, and it can become more conflicted. To Sasori becomes soon as it's not just her sister she's desperate to protect, but the very prince she once vowed to destroy. So a little line in this book was, the horrifying truth, I'm drawn to men as, a horrifying truth as I'm drawn to water as men are to me. When I'm near it speaks to me, urges me to act, kill. The call of the water is as fierce as it's deadly, my own personal siren song. So the author debuts this, draws you in from the opening chapter, which makes it very clear that the kind of protagonist Sasori is. She's vicious, she's ruthless, and a killer by nature, and the thrill in the act of taking a man's life as much as she hates it for herself. which she does not want to do. She cannot do it. She doesn't like it, but she can't give in to her killing temptation. She has grown up in the same stories people were told about sirens, or their brutality, their shapeness to the world she views herself and the history of their kind. There's no one left to tell her of any other sides to the sirens, which is why her adopted family is so important. They offered her unconditional love and support, even though Sori had a habit of pushing her parents away. It's because she's worried she'll end up hurting them, and everything that drives her comes from a place of loss and fear. A character with such changeable morals will also keep the reader on the toes. I tell you now, I was I almost read this in one sitting, but at the point where I fell asleep with my book next to me. I got so tired and reading the book, I wanted to finish it, but I fell asleep while reading the book, which was quite funny. So he, where did I just go? Hayes has to be her, so right? It's her job to protect him, but she barely hides the fact that she doesn't like him. That she's merely tolerating him to get the job done. Something that amuses and intrigues him in the prince in equal measure. He used to be his subjects falling over him and his guys joking with him, but Sori, she's completely different. She's like, I don't care, I've come here to do my job, I'm not going to play around with you, and don't care about you, basically. I'm just doing what I've just been told to do. And he's like, okay, I like you, you're different, not like everyone else, I'm interested in you and I want to know more. So Hayes isn't a stranger to grief and loss, and he does have a good heart, thoughtfulness, and the endures to the story and the readers too. If there was a blueprint for perfect fantasy love interest, she has crashed it with Hayes right here. So the story is filled with aspects of love and hate, which I am here for. And makes a good driving force for both good and bad. It's also chiefly a story about family as well. Hayes is part of a royal bloodline, yet he has nothing but contempt and resentment for his parents. By contrast, the story doesn't share any blood with her parents or siblings, but there's nothing she wouldn't do to keep them safe. It is a complicated sisterly devotion that Sasori has for Rain, and almost claustrophobic love that drives the character forward to some respect. Holds her back in parts, and parts of Sasori evolution is realising that holding on to something too tightly might keep the ones you love safe, but it could be suffocating them too. My nose is literally running. So there's elements to this book as well. It feel a little too convenient and easily won, which certain characters seem purposely hidden in shadows early on, which dampens the impact of the more of the book later. So sorry, I thought I was going to have a hiccup and a sneeze at the same time. Yeah, this is debut remains darkly compelling and tense throughout, right? In no small part down to a part this prickly protagonist, oh my god, and the sizzling chemistry between the siren and the prince. The sizzling bond that forms that very heart of the book. It has me perfect. Perfect for the sequel that promised more conflict and more death and more romance and more portrayal and more hope, found love, and expect the next book to be hotly as expected the first. So yes, if you haven't realised what I've just said, there's a second book. Yeah. I didn't know that until I read the kind of the ending, and I'm like, excuse me. And then obviously I find out there's another one. So I'm like, oh dang. Here we go again. I've got to do another one, which is not as fun. Don't mind me. I am going to quickly just trying to get the part out so I can tell you what the next book will be if it shows. Okay, so far nothing is going to show just yet because it's not coming out, but it does say this is a book 1 to the series, so meaning there will be a second book. So I have no idea what this book will be called, but like I said, there will be a second book 2 of this. I really enjoyed this book and I hope you guys enjoyed it too, and I will see you guys next time. Peace, bye.